turned it off. No one was entering the system at 11. No.
And all those votes were counted.
No.
In fact, for those who were here when this display was switched off, you can see the difference.
So, let me get this just a minute before she comes in.
Yes.
Let me get this for record purposes. At no one moment did you turn off the system because of that.
No, we turned off the display, but the server.
No, I mean the system. Let's just say they are slowed down.
The system has many parts to it. There's a part of the system that receives the votes. There's a part of the system that displays the votes. The part of the system that receives the votes did not stop at any one time. It continued. We just added another channel that was easier for web. Now the part of the system that displays the votes is the one that went off, was part of the one that was overwhelmed by the server congestion.
Well, my last question before I let my colleagues come in here.
You asked another question about the decision and how it was taken.
Yes, but let me add on another one. How many voters do we have?
As of now, I need to check.
No, those who have voted. How many do we have on the voters register? Those who are eligible.
Those who have voted.
No, not those who have voted. The total number of eligible voters.
It's any member right now who opens the link and know that.
No, just I want to get it for you as the
anyone can.
I should be able to tell that I have a number of voters. You should be able to tell the exact number. No, please, you can't do that. We are questions.
Let me answer the question. We will close this session in the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
I am taking these last questions and we close this session.
Let me get another number. Yes.
3,000. The total number of voters is 3,000. Can we have order? King Saha, please put yourself to order. Put yourself to order. Can we have some order? Can we have order? Can we give me an idea? We can put ourselves to order.
They closed the system at 11. They're opening it at 3.
The next question was... Please ask your candidates to put themselves in order. Is this question over? Okay, I've answered all the other questions. There was one last question about the decision and when it was taken. The mandate to organize the elections is the responsibility of the policy board of UMA. These elections are elections of the Uganda Musicians Association, and the association has two centers of power, the board and the executive. The board is responsible for selecting an electoral committee and the head of the electoral committee. They made the decision and I was selected and we took this decision. However, this decision regarding what format or model to use, the Constitution does not define which model to use. However, we consulted with the board and the board made this decision. The board made this decision somewhere mid-April. That's when this decision was made, after sitting several times to discuss the various versions of the budget. Does that answer your question?
Well, maybe if they have 1-2 questions, we close the session.
Okay.
Neyansanyo mukulu Jeff mubutuufu nze akalulu konna kazze nga nkagoberera na buli kimu kantambula nakyo era nga ba candidates bananga bambagamba ati no tukikkiriza nze nga
Bandit of no one was entering the system at 11. No, no,
And all those votes were counted.
no.
In fact, for those who were here when this display was switched off, you can see the difference.
Let me get this just a minute before she comes in.
Yes.
Let me get this for record purposes. At no one moment did you turn off the system because of that record.
No, we turned off the display, but the servers
No, I mean the system because when you're saying they are slowed down.
The system has many parts to it. There's a part of the system that receives the votes. There's a part of the system that displays the votes. The part of the system that receives the votes did not stop at any one time. It continued. We just added another channel that was easier for web. Now the part of the system that displays the votes is the one that went off, was part of the one that was overwhelmed by the server congestion.
Well, my last question before I let my colleagues come in here.
You asked another question about the decision and how it was taken.
Yes, but let me add on another. How many voters do we have?
As of now, I need to check.
No, not those who have voted. How many do we have on the voters register? Those who are eligible.
Those who have voted.
No, not those who have voted. The total number of eligible voters.
It's any member right now who opens the link and know that
No, just I want to get it for you as the president.
anyone can see.
I should be able to tell that I have a number of voters. You should be able to tell the exact number. Please, you can't do that. We are questions.
Let me answer the question. We will close this session in the next 5 minutes. Okay. I am taking this last question and we close this session.
Let me get another number. Yes.
3,000. The total number of voters is 3,000. Can we have order? King Saha, please put yourself to order. Put yourself to order. Can we have some order? Can we have order? Can you give me an idea?
We came here to know. They closed the system at 11. They are opening it at 3.
The next question was... Please ask your manager to put themselves in order. Is this session over? Okay. I've answered all the other questions. There was one last question about the decision and when it was taken. The mandate to organize the elections is the responsibility of the policy board of UMA. These elections are elections of the Uganda Musicians Association, and the association has two centers of power, the board and the executive. The board is responsible for selecting an electoral committee and the head of the electoral committee. They made a decision and I was selected and we took this decision. However, this decision regarding what format or model to use, the Constitution does not define which model to use. However, we consulted with the board and the board made this decision. The board made this decision somewhere mid-April. That's when this decision was made, after sitting several times to discuss the various versions of the budget. Does that answer your question?
Well, maybe if they have 1-2 questions, we close the session.
Okay.
Neyansanyo mukulu Jeff mubutuufu nze nze akalulu konna kazze nga nkagoberera na buli kimu kantambula nakyo era nga ba candidates bananga abamu bagamba kino tetukikkiriza nze nga mpozi otugamba okwokeninga essimu zaffe kirungi okugulawo essimu zaffe naye olwaleero nti okuva tayimu gye nabadde nnyina okulonderako ne tayimu kati ssaawa eno jefu obadde free and fair mu kalulu kano tetwagala tulabe nti osika omugwa olw'abantu abamu nze nkusaba ekintu kimu yogera ne police board osazeemu akalulu kano tufune akalulu akali free and fair.
Thank you. Tubagole the legal counsel ajja. Atanalonda tukusaba kwate essimu. Sabakandepo ajesi alonde kati. Wekiga. Agamba ajesi essimu kati nga wekulifenda. Challenge your candidate to get his phone and prove that he cannot vote. Let's have evidence here. We want transparency. Please somehow get your phone and vote in the presence of your lawyer. There's no further evidence than that. Get your phone and vote now and prove us wrong. Prove us. I challenge you. Lord Bitten, King Saha, I challenge you to vote.
Other voters are not aware of that. But voters are aware. All voters are aware about that.
Essentially, it means you couldn't proceed. It was also not, you're saying it was not foreseeable. NITA is a government agency, we accept that. And it was not foreseeable that a government agency will suffer such a setback. But if it has happened in law, here we call it an act of God, a supervening factor, a force majeure. So how do you handle that in a situation? In a situation where the only platform you have to conduct an election has suffered that breakdown. That is the only platform, because you have no manual system. You only have a digital platform, and it has suffered that setback. Under those circumstances, if it has slowed down, under those circumstances, how do you proceed with that? And the final thing is, you said yes, you didn't have sponsors, you very much wanted to have a manual election, to have ballot boxes brought here, ballot papers, and everything is done in a transparent manner. You only opted for a digital system because of want of resources. At what stage was that decision taken of having a digital election? And how would the candidates know that now it's no longer viable for us to have a manual election? We are going in for a digital one, and that is ensuring that all the eligible voters participate in this process. Maybe first deal with that set of questions.
Thank you very much. These are great questions. I wish you had engaged with us much earlier. You would have appreciated most of the information that you're asking about. Starting with the first one regarding the voter register. Because this is a digital election, we focused on publishing most of the content digitally. However, the first draft of the register was published and is available at our office. Register contacts are attached to their registration. Yes, go ahead.
This is Saha's agent,
Yes.
who was designated to oversee the process on his behalf, and she's been here since morning. How would she tell that so-and-so is a voter without having access to that physical voters register?
Thank you very much. Let me explain. Silence, please. Silence. So this register was published digitally, and all our members, we have their contacts, and we were sent SMSs with a link to this register. This is a permanent link that is available to all members and is accessible up to right now. You are free to go and download it and examine it. This register, all the members here can attest that they received a link to this register. And the same register, if any of them listen members. Security, please remove anyone that's complicating the situation. Thank you. Now, the voter register, as published, is still available for auditing. It's the same results that we are going to use here are available for auditing. So the register is accessible digitally, and the links can be shared. Unfortunately, we are having this conversation. We should have this as a post-mortem, but we are in the middle of the election. But for purposes of putting your concerns to rest, let me quickly answer the other questions. Regarding access to the voting system. The voting system is supposed to run on the USSD platform, which is on *260 hash. That was the primary voting platform, and many members were able to use it to vote. Some were unable. So when we had experienced the slowdown, we immediately activated our backup system we had already built, which is a web-based system, and many of them have used it to vote right now in the last 1 hour or so. And it's still active. Voting is still happening until 5 p.m. as planned. Excuse me. Voting is still happening. Voting is still going on, and members are still able to vote. The ones who are unable to access the system are using the *260 hash, are now using the web system, and they are successfully voting.
When power goes off like it has done now,
Yes.
then the system blackout completely.
And the dashboard is
We are
not
using the
accessible.
internet. The servers are elsewhere. They are government servers and they are running. When power goes, people are still able to vote from their phones. The screen, I'll explain. Let me give an example of a computer. When a computer, like a typical desktop computer, you can turn off a monitor, but that doesn't mean you've turned off the computer. So the screens you're seeing here are displaying what is happening, but they are not for transparency purposes. But they are not
How will the agents now monitor the exercise when there is that blackout?
There are situations which are referred to as force majeure, and when this happens, nobody has control over that. When power goes and it's beyond our control, the voting still continues and people can vote. Anyone who hasn't voted now can still vote. But, so the system is still capturing the votes. It's the display that goes off, but the voting still runs.
That means it's
and
not
even when
fair.
the display went off, the voting continued. Members did not stop voting. All of that now power is back and the system is still continues where it stopped. That's what I'm explaining. Listen, it's my time to talk.
Yes, for both sides. Because you said it's ending at 5.
I am still explaining. The voting is separate from the display of the voting. The engine that powers the voting does not shut down because it's not running here. It's running on internet servers. So it has not stopped from the time it started. However, the display for purposes of the audience that is here can be turned off. But the internet servers are still running.
How do we know?
There's a difference.
How do we know?
Now,
The question is, how do they monitor it?
How do we monitor?
that's why when power came back and the system was back up and running, the update showed that all the votes that were made where the display was off were captured still, and they're still in the system.
How are we recovering that time when
Now,
the system was off? Because there were so
nobody
many
stopped
hours.
voting because the display
But
here
you
stopped.
turned off the system.
We did
When
not turn off
you
the system.
turned it off, no one was
The
entering
servers
the
were
system
still
at
running in
11.
the
No,
background.
no.
And all those votes were counted.
No.
In fact, for those who were here when this display was switched off, you can see the difference.
Let me get this just a minute before she comes in.
Yes.
Let me get this for record purposes. At no one moment did you turn off the system because of that.
No, we turned off the display, but the servers.
No, I mean the system because when you're saying they are slowed down.
The system has many parts to it. There's a part of the system that receives the votes. There's a part of the system that displays the votes. The part of the system that receives the votes did not stop at any one time. It continued. We just added another channel that was easier for web. Now the part of the system that displays the votes is the one that went off, was part of the one that was overwhelmed by the server congestion.
Well, my last question before I let my colleagues come in here.
You asked another question about the decision and how it was taken.
Yes, but let me add on another. How many voters do we have?
As of now, I need to check.
No, those who have voted. How many do we have on the voters register? Those who are eligible.
Those who have voted.
No, not those who have voted. The total number of eligible voters.
It's any member right now who opens the link and know that information.
Just I want to get it from you as the president.
Anyone can
I should be able to tell that I have a number of voters. You should be able to tell the exact number. No, please, you can't do that. We are questions.
Let me answer the question. We will close this session in the next 5 minutes. Okay. I am taking these last questions and we close this session.
Let me get to know the number.
Yes, 3,000. The total number of voters is 3,000. Can we have order? King Saha, please put yourself to order. Put yourself to order. Can we have some order? Can we have order? Can we give me an idea?
We came here to know. They closed the system at 11. They are opening at 3.
The next question was... Please ask your candidate to put themselves in order. Is this session over? Okay. I've answered all the other questions. There was one last question about the decision and when it was taken. The mandate to organize the elections is the responsibility of the policy board of UMA. These elections are elections of the Uganda Musicians Association, and the association has two centers of power, the board and the executive. The board is responsible for selecting an electoral committee and the head of the electoral committee. They made a decision and I was selected and we took this decision. However, this decision regarding what format or model to use, the Constitution does not define which model to use. However, we consulted with the board and the board made this decision. The board made this decision somewhere mid-April. That's when this decision was made, after sitting several times to discuss the various versions of the budget. Does that answer your question?
Maybe if they have 1-2 questions, we close the session.
Okay.
Neyansanyo mukulu Jeff mubutuufu nze akalulu konna kazze nga nkagoberera na buli kimu kantambula nakyo era nga ba candidates bananga abambagamba kino tetukikkiriza nze nga ngamba nzikiriza naye olwaleero tukkirize ekigaanye kiba kikoze eki kiba kigaanye Jeff olw'ensonga ffe twakedde wano nze ne looya wange woono yakedde wano essaawa 12 nga teri muntu yenna yazze wano bw'amala okujja bayisaawa emu nze najjidde nekwokada piki obwedda ndi awo netutuuka akalulu katandika okulonda biki system netuuka nevaako completely bweba evuddeko ffe tetumanyi bayiyeeyo obululu bumeka obukoze eki mu butuufu ng'olaba nti ba-agency baffe ne batandika okuba amasimu okuva mu clusters ez'enjawulo nga bagamba bannayo okulonda kuganye nange kennyini nenneegezaako okweronda mu butuufu ne kugaana so mu mbeera eyo buli kimu kyonna entambula gye kibadde kitambula bulungi naye mu butuufu kino olwaleero kikoze eki nze mbadde nsaba nga commission mwe ku lw'obulungi bwa music naffe olw'obulungi bwe twagala wuuma ebeerewo ng'abayimbi kino olwaleero mu kisitoopinga tuddemu tutereeze zekyembadde nsabago naye nga mu butuufu results ezinaava mu kino ne bwe naaba nze empangudde kuba nazze nga mmanyi ndi muwanguzi sigenda kuzikkiriza kuba percentage gye mbadde nnyina okuwangulirako abantu bange nze ngimanyi ne bajja gamba ife sikkiriza mu results zigenda kuva mu kalulu kano Jeff tuyambe buyambi mukama wange ne police
actually tubaddeko wano okuva ku makya tuli mu nkaayana z'akalulu kano n'aba agent wamu ne board eno.
Sorry to interrupt you. I have been advised that our legal counsel should entertain this conversation moving forward because I am not a legal expert to engage with another legal expert. Thank you very much. You'll be here in a minute and you can take over any further questions. Our position remains the same. We appreciate all the suggestions. We don't take them lightly. And the board is also paying attention closely. If the decision is made that we postpone the election or redo this election, we will do it. This is an association. We are not doing this for ourselves. We are doing it for our members. If the members deem this necessary, whatever they deem necessary, we will make our best efforts to implement that. All the suggestions are highly valuable, and we value them, and we are taking them on record.
For unity and transparency, the chairman
Let's
cannot
wait
take
for
a
our
chair
legal counsel.
for a legal counsel, but actually move forward.
Before legal counsel comes,
Before legal
you
counsel
heard
comes,
is a candidate he has not cast his vote. Likewise, he has not. Time is coming to 5. Supposing the council comes after 5.
The option for them to cast their votes using the web system is available and it's working smoothly.
No, they are failed and they are here.
They are here. Let them get their phones.
voters are not aware.
Then you'll be right.
System has failed
Let's
on their part.